Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Common Sense Academy. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto, Joe the Lawyer. Some guy in my comments today told me that if I wanted more viewers and subscribers, I should get rid of the Same Time Sip. You know what? I got rid of him. I blocked him from my channel. Just kidding. But come on, man. Come on. Everybody's got to have a gimmick. I may lose some, but I think I gain much more. Welcome to the Common Sense Academy. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto, Joe the Lawyer. Today, we're going to take a look at an article about an underground pizza network owner who goes to court and plays the sovereign citizen card. This guy has it all, okay? He has it all. He fights with his attorney. He fights with the judge, okay? He's got fake legal documents. This sovereign citizen stuff is out of control. It's out of control. I believe that it's growing. It's nuts. All right, before we dive into this article, no video today, just an article. We're going to do that thing that this guy panned me for. We're going to do the Same Time Sip, all right? Everybody raise your glass, your drink in the air, whatever your favorite beverage is. You may drink ale, you may drink mead, you may drink water, you may drink weed. Just kidding. Nobody drinks that stuff, do they? Wait a minute. Well, anything's possible these days. Raise your cup, your glass in the air. Cheers with me. It tastes better when we sip together. I drink diet drinks. Underground Pizza Network owner back in court by Kenneth Litt, May 21st, 2021. What we're looking at right off the bat is a document. It says Cheryl Backart. In this notice by written communication, the term Cheryl Backart means Cheryl Backart, a juristic person. Juristic person in sovereign citizen speak means she's pretending to be a judge. That's not good. Living, breathing, flesh and blood man, aren't we all? In this notice by written communication, the term living, breathing, flesh and blood man means the secured party. Oh, this sounds like a David Hall repeat. Kurt Raymond Lent with the copyright at the end of his name. Look at that over there, everybody. Look at that little copyright there. Whoa. Look at the little copyright. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. A sentient living being as distinguished from an artificial legal construct, ens legis, i.e. a juristic person created by a construct of law. Oh, you're another fake judge. Non obstante. In this notice by written communication, the term non obstante means words anciently used in public and private instruments with the intent of precluding in advance any interpretation other than certain declared objects or purposes. Non obstante, non problemo, mucho problemo, sir. It's all nonsense BS. Secured party in this notice by written communication. The term secured party means Kurt Raymond Lent, a living sentient being as distinguished from a juristic person created by construct of law. This is an excerpt from the security agreement Kurt Lent sent copies of to 4 judges. Paper terrorism. This writing isn't worth the paper that it's written on. It's all nonsense. Just because you want something to be so doesn't make it so, sir. Woo. All right, here's the gentleman. Appears to be in court. Kurt Lent listens to attorney David Arganian address Judge Thomas Branford during an early resolution conference at the Lincoln County Courthouse on May 17th. Out of Newport, the owner of a Seal Rock pizza parlor tested the patience of a Lincoln County judge during his status hearing on Monday. If only he had pushed the judge a little bit further, you'll see why. Following his arraignment in Lincoln County Circuit Court last month, Kurt Lent of Newport, owner of the currently closed Underground Pizza Network restaurant in Seal Rock, sent 9-page certified letters to 4 Lincoln County judges. Boy, nothing like wasting your time reading 9 pages of nonsense. Lent is charged with a misdemeanor for allegedly operating his pizza parlor without obtaining the legally required license from the health department. Wow, what a surprise there, a sovereign citizen who didn't get his licensing. He started running the restaurant in January, taking over and renaming a previous pizza place, and quickly gained public attention with signs that threatened to prosecute and sue public health officials attempting to enforce unconstitutional mandates. That, yeah, the best time in your life to start a pizza shop is during a global pandemic when the government is breathing down the neck of every business in this country. Good work. In a series of letters to Lincoln County Environmental Health, which is locally responsible for administering Oregon Health County restaurant licenses that ensure food safety standards are met, Lent demanded the county sign a contract that would bar officials from visiting his restaurant in exchange for his license fee. I mean, man, if he got them to sign that, that would be something. I'd give him props for that. Claimed he was owed more than $10,000 in legal fees for acting as his own attorney in the matter. Yeah, no crap. And threatened a county employee with ruinous civil and criminal action. Oh, he's setting himself up for paper terrorism, everyone. It's coming. On March 12th, Lincoln County Sheriff deputies issued Lent a citation for operating a restaurant without a license. During his April 12th arraignment, Lincoln County Circuit Judge Cheryl Backart made not operating without a license a condition of his continued release. So she said you can't run that fake pizza shop while you're on bond, or it will be a revocation of your bond and could send him to jail. 4 days later, notarized letters from Lent to Backart, Judge Amanda Benjamin, Judge Marcia Buckley, and retired Judge Thomas Branford were filed in the state judicial information system. Those letters, in which Lent first prescribes the method by which judges will be allowed to communicate with him, each contain self-executing security agreements. No, they don't. They don't contain that. They contain a bunch of nonsense. Here we can see this security agreement. I'll post the link if you guys want to read it. All right. The agreements purports, that's the correct word, to make the judges liable for a $500,000 fee for any use of his copyright, his name, Kurt Raymond Lent, as well as any and all derivatives and variations in the spelling. I'm sure you're the only one named Kurt Lent out there. The only way to opt out of this consensual contract, according to the document, is immediate cessation of any and all further authorized use of secured parties' common law copyrighted property. Listen, buddy, whoever sold you this bag of goods, and I'm sure somebody sold it to you because that's what they do. They charge you $1,000 for a bunch of legal garble. It has really pulled the wool over your eyes. Lent includes the copyright symbol with each use of his name, except instances where it is within quotation marks. According to the U.S. Copyright Office, the name of an individual, including a pseudonym, is not copyrightable. That's because there's millions of people with the same name out there, you goon. In court for an early resolution conference May 17th, Lent refused to stand upon announcement of the judge's virtual entrance to the courtroom. Branford, who retired in February and was filling in Monday, presided by phone. I wonder if he told the judge that he would stand under. While waiting through other defendants' proceedings, Lent called out from the back row to a court clerk who was wiping down surfaces and spraying Lysol between hearings. Hey, can you stop spraying that stuff, please? It's not good for any of us, he said. Well, Mr. Lent, do you use cleaning products at your house? Do you put windshield wiper fluid in your car? Come on, man. Attorney David Arganian, oh, and Lord, do I feel bad for Mr. Arganian. Please, who was provisionally appointed to represent Lent at his arraignment, came to the counsel table just before Lent's name was called. As Lent walked to the table, he repeatedly asked the judge to identify himself. Just be quiet, Arganian said. Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Lent said. You told me to be quiet. I don't need you to do that. You're my attorney. You do what I tell you to do. That's not how it works, Arganian said. As he was telling the judge Lent had not contacted him since his arraignment, Lent handed him paperwork from a manila folder. Mr. Lentz just handed me some paperwork which I don't see has any relevance to the case. I was appointed to represent him last month. I do not have anything to report since. This is where it gets even more interesting. Lent interrupted the attorney. This person doesn't speak for me. I don't know why he's talking. Branford said the issue was that Lent had not applied for a court-appointed attorney as he'd been instructed to do on the day of his arraignment. Mr. Lent, do you intend to ask the court to appoint an attorney to help you? The judge asked. Yeah, I already sent off all the information to this guy who's treating me like shit, Lent said. No, that is not the question I asked you, Branford said. The question was, do you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? Sure, Lent said. The judge told him he needed to do so that day. Lent asked Branford who he was again and repeatedly asked why he was not in the courtroom. Branford explained through interruptions that he was presiding remotely to comply with the governor's and chief justice's orders about physical distancing. On top of that, this judge, being a retired judge, is probably an older gentleman who would be highly susceptible to the coronavirus if he caught it. Is there a law about that, sir? Is there a law about that, sir? Lent asked. Branford said, I'm following the law and I'm not answering your questions. There's a governor's order and a chief justice's order. Lent interrupted again. So that's not a law, so that's the answer. So does the record reflect that it's not a law? No, Branford said, with Lent cutting him off again to tell him he was contradicting himself. If you interrupt me again, you're going to go to jail today for contempt. If only it had happened. If only. Branford said, you will not interrupt me. He again began explaining that he was not in the courtroom to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19, and Lent interjected. So you're a carrier? This freaking guy, man. The judge once more threatened to jail Lent if he interrupted again. Branford continued the case and set a next hearing date of June 8th, admonishing Lent to both apply for an attorney before leaving the courthouse and to make contact with Arganian. On his way out the door, Lent told the News Times reporter, you've got a copyright coming too, brother. Whoa, watch out, fake piece of paper. If convicted of the Class C misdemeanor, Lent faces a maximum penalty of a $1,250 fine, 30 days in jail, or both. Court records show he did apply for appointed representation. But let me ask you, why would a yahoo like this go and apply for an attorney when he's just going to try to boss him around? I think what they try to do is get a court-appointed lawyer, and then they want to use the lawyer as a tool, as a conduit for their nonsense. And what will happen is it will just delay the court proceedings because the lawyer's then going to have to withdraw from the case because he's dealing with a psychopathic maniac. That's it. That's all there is to it. Everyone, please. It never ends. It never ends with this stuff. And, you know, COVID-19 has accelerated it all. The happenings of the past couple of years in the news, in the social environment, has accelerated the sovereign citizen nonsense. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this news report from the Common Sense Academy. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Also, I implore you, check out my new channel, Tips from a Lawyer. Tips from a Lawyer. Okay, the link is in the description below, not on the channel frame itself, but in the description for YouTube. Go ahead, click on that link, go to my channel, check out some of those videos, subscribe. Even if you're not that into that content, subscribe for me so I can get to 1,000 subscribers. Once I get to 1,000, YouTube kind of will do the rest. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Joe Palmetto, Joe the Lawyer. Shout out to my patrons who make this show possible. Andrea, Marie, Jonathan, Thomas, Michael, Art Vandelay, Jacqueline, Richard, Pim, and Romantis. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this. Help me defeat these yahoos, please.